Hey there, everyone. My name is Brian Swasey, and I'm the Associate Producer at the Ogunquit Playhouse. And we are continuing our checking in series with the fantastic Jelani Remy, who was in our 2018 Smokey Joe's Cafe. If those of you remember him from that production, we're so happy to see you. I love seeing new faces. I see all of my Ogunquit Playhouse friends and family every day, and now I get to see new faces when we do these checking ins. So it's great.
Oh, well, hey.
Hi.
Thanks for having me. And for those of you who don't know me, I am an unemployed actor.
Yes. Like 99% of the industry right now.
Correct.
Yes, it is a reality, ladies and gentlemen, and it is it is something we are all struggling with. Yeah.
But my heart belongs in Ogunquit, that's for sure.
Right? It is not a terrible place to go for a few weeks of your life, right?
No, and actually we got to mount Smokey Joe's there, which is really cool because then we did the off-Broadway transfer after that. So it was cool to be part of Ogunquit for the beginning of like the process of the show.
Yeah. And Smokey Joe's Cafe, because we did a checking in series with Kyle. He was one of the first ones that we did. Way back in March. It seems like a lifetime ago. And we talked about it a little bit. And Smokey Joe's Cafe, just to be able to be part of that revival, it was a show that originally I was a huge fan of. I saw it so many times with that original cast, and then to be able to be part of remounting it and recreating it and reinventing it with all of you guys, and Josh's incredible staging, it was just really wonderful.
And like even looking back now, like it was so cool to be a part of a show where there were so many different people of different backgrounds and different upbringings, and then all had different talents, and we were all put together to do a show, and it was based off of what we did, and what our wheelhouses were, and like color was not a barrier. Like we did like gender switching, we did song switching. Like I sang an Elvis song. So looking back, like that's the process. Like that made me like love what we did that much more.
It was a really exciting version of the show. I mean, obviously from a casting perspective, I mean, that's exactly what they were trying to do. Bring in people that could reinvent these kind of iconic original cast performances, right? And bring something new to it that all of you guys did. That's why we wanted actor musician, and we wanted to change up who sang what songs. And so it was really exciting to see it all come together.
And I can tell you, for me, I came from doing like almost 10-year engagement in The Lion King. So for me, it was more so like, who am I outside that mask? Like, who is Jelani rather than Simba, And I feel like Smokey Joe's found me at that time and showed me who I was and like what I can do, outside of what I'd already known. So it pushed me to another level of performance that like I'm so grateful for, because I think singing in that show with 3 other guys prepped me for what I'm doing now, which is Eddie Kendricks and Ain't Too Proud. So every sort of step of my journey has prepped me to that.
Number 47 said number 3, you're the cutest jailbird I ever did see. Sure be delighted with your company. Come on and do the jailhouse rock with me. Let's rock. Everybody, let's rock. Everybody in the homestyle block was dancing to the jailhouse rock.
So Smokey Joe's Cafe, so you had been, for everyone that doesn't know, you had been in The Lion King for 10 years or so? That's what?
Almost 10 years, I started as the back legs of the rhinoceros. Thank you so much. And I was an understudy for Simba and started working my way up and took over the role of Simba in Vegas. And then I moved to tour, and then I moved to Broadway.
Okay, and so how long did you actually play Simba from Vegas to Broadway?
I think like 7 years. 7 years of Simba. Maybe even 8.5, something like that. The timing, I mean, what is time?
Right. What is time amongst wearing a mask on your head? But that's amazing. That is a long time to be with that show. That's incredible.
Totally. Yeah, and I mean, there was a time when I was like 25, which was just last year.
Of course.
I began to feel like a bit of a robot. And what my bosses did is they gave me some time off. And because we do these shows a lot, so and that's gonna be my first show. I did High School Musical before then too, and High School Musical too. But I took some time off and I went traveling, and I went around the world by myself, and I saw theater in every country I went to. So to get re-inspired and to remember like how art affects us, and B, how you can like reignite your flame by looking at your passion in a different way. So I took a step back and sort of like looked at it and got a whole new appreciation and like some new ideas and took it back to my show, which is really cool.
So where did you travel to? Just some of the highlights. Where'd you go?
Oh, I went to Sydney and I saw King Kong. No, I went to Melbourne and saw King Kong. I went to like the Komish Opera in Berlin. I went to Thailand. I went to Paris, so Moulin Rouge. I saw shows in the West End.
Amazing.
I saw some random show in Rome. Like I did like my Eat, Pray, Love journey, you know? It's really cool.
Awesome. Yeah. Australia is on my bucket list to go to at some point in my life.
It's so nice. It's so nice.
So that's on my list. And Berlin is one of my favorite cities. I haven't been there in a very long time. I traveled there when I was much younger, but it is an incredible city.
It was awesome.
So good. Yeah. And so you did that. And you got a leave of absence from Lion King for a while, and then you went back to Lion King?
Oh, I went back in, and then I did a couple more years, and then went to Broadway, and then that was my Broadway debut. So I was like just enamored and just sort of like, I couldn't believe it. Like that's the goal, right? That's a dream, and I finally made it, and it was more than I even expected because the Broadway community is just wonderful. My family's from New Jersey, so I got to be closer to them, which is so great. Yeah. And I got to, be in New York, which I had never done before.
Okay, so you had never lived in New York before that?
No.
Wow. Okay.
So, and then I wanted to set roots and sort of make a name for myself here. And I did, and year 1 went by, year 2 went by, year 3 went by. And I think by that time, it was sort of a decision that had to be decided to move on and see what you can do. I think it was someone else's turn.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. So you give what you can for the amount of time you can, and that's your journey with it, right? And then you take the next step.
Who knows? Maybe I'll come back someday, but everything worked out, and it just so happened that I auditioned for Smokey Joe's because it was one of my favorite shows growing up. Yeah. And I got a call back, and then I found out I got it, and I'll never forget that day. It was snowing. Yeah, and it was a 2-show day on a Wednesday.
Yeah, and, I was in the room the day of your final callback, and so I was so
nervous.
I just remember, it was one of those days where, and obviously you'd been in a few times, but you left the room and we were like, "That's it," So
I just got chills.
Yeah, it was an exciting puzzle to put together, and the 4 of you guys as a quartet, I mean, again, just electrifying. The 4 of you, I could, I still say to this day, I said I could have watched the 4 of you do an 2-hour show, just the 4 of you. So no offense to anyone else on the show. I love you all just as much, but I was like, that's something right there. So
well, let me tell you, Brian, like we made friends for life doing that show, and it's so great that like we are still so close. Yeah. And like I can call on those brothers and sisters for anything, and like we actually we chat still, and like we actually just got together again to work on a project that we're gonna be releasing soon because the show was so important to us. We felt like it was our obligation to spread joy into the world. Yeah, especially with what's going on now. So look out for the Smokey Joe's cast doing our at-home version of Stand By Me, which is so appropriate for this time. And really, we had something so special because of what you guys provided us. You guys, it's from the top and it trickles down, right? Yeah. So we all felt safe, supported, respected, and we made something so special.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I can't wait to see that. I was jonesing for that cast recording, and I said this to Kyle too. I was like so sad that it didn't actually come to life, but
I know. But
I have Stand By Me to look forward to.
Exactly.
And hearing all you guys together again. So that's exciting.
Totally.
Cool. So you are right now you're in New Jersey. That's where you are?
I'm in New Jersey at my parents. Yeah. I decided to come home because when have I ever had this much time off? Right. Like everybody else. And B, like the city got weird for me. Like, and I just wanted to get out and be with family. I think that's great. So doing at-home projects. Okay. They have a dog. It's nice. And I get to go to the Jersey Shore, which is
okay. Cool. Yeah, I am in. We are in Edgewater, New Jersey, just outside the city.
Okay.
So it's like halfway between the Lincoln Tunnel. So we've been here, hunkered down.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so you said, you know, you went to New Jersey and you've been doing projects and stuff like that. What's been keeping you busy for the past 4 months?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because actually next week on the the 27th, I directed my first cabaret for Broadway Cares. And
Oh,
so
awesome.
I started feeling a certain type of way about our community, and felt like it was becoming like we were not as close as we should be. I feel like walls are put up and borders are put up, and a lot of things that I don't want for our community. So I wanted to get different artists together to tell their stories and to sing their songs and to be themselves in an unapologetic way. So we decided to do this cabaret called Next Gen. It's for the next generation of young artists, leaders, directors, writers, and I want us all to be in a safe space to present our work. So I curated some of my friends, some kids I went to college with, and some people I respect in the community to come together for this benefit concert for Broadway Cares. And I've had so much fun putting that together and picking out songs for people and just putting the puzzle together. Like you said before, it's been so fun. I'm also teaching online, because that's what you do too, theater camps. Which is so awesome.
Yeah. What kind of things are you teaching online?
I teach some theater dance classes. I do vocal lessons, audition prep stuff, because I feel like for this next generation, they need to be armored with what they need when we go back into the world to be better, stronger, more prepared, and have things in their pocket so they're ready to go. Yeah. And to always keep working. Because it's so hard to do this at-home stuff, I find, for a lot of students. It's hard for them to stay motivated and to want to do it. But with me, like, in their face, they have no choice.
Isn't it hard for all of us to stay a little motivated, you know?
Totally. And it's okay not to. It's okay some days to say, I don't want to. But I want to be a cheerleader for those who do want to. So
Yeah, there are some days that I have to just bake French macarons. That's what I've been learning how to do.
My address is.
Yeah, that's been my thing. I mean, I've always liked to bake and stuff, but it's been the past few weeks, so I'm like, I'm gonna learn how to make these cookies. So that's what I
know how to eat cookies.
Yeah. So does my husband.
With our powers combined.
Right. It's a perfect match. It's a perfect match. So the Broadway Cares event airs next week, you said?
Next week, look out for it on my Instagram. It's the 27th of July. If you go to BroadwayCares.com/nextgen, I think you could find it. And not only am I directing, but I'm also hosting it. So it's gonna be really cool.
Okay, cool. Are you doing? Is it pre-recorded? Is there a live portion of it? Like what's
mix? I'm live, but there's some pre-recorded stuff and some live. So it's everything all in one. It's gonna be on Zoom too, so it's gonna be really cool.
All right, awesome. Well, I'll look forward to that. So, gosh. You're in New Jersey. So what happened? So let's just back up a little bit just to kind of hear what things were like for you when everything kind of went down back in March.
Ooh, baby. So I was actually in Tulum in Mexico for my friend Ariel Jacobs had a wedding.
I feel like I kind of knew that.
She plays just Princess Jasmine.
Yeah.
She got married and shut down the world. So after that wedding, I realized we did not have a job. And then it was confusing because we didn't know like when things were going to get better or if. It was such a cluster, but we knew that we couldn't go back to work. And our producers have been so amazing of letting us know like what's up and what we can do and doing some at-home stuff that we've done with the show. But then time just went on and on and on, and it became like, okay, well, who am I? What are we doing?
Right.
But now
I'm gonna have to settle in a little bit, right?
Right, and for an actor, it's like 8 o'clock rolls around, you're like, look at me, and it's like,
nobody's looking.
And it's like you go online to sing, and it's like people are clapping, but they're muted, so it's not the same.
Yeah.
But you learn to adapt. And make it work for you, which is easier said than done. But you have to. It forces you to go inward.
Yeah.
And, I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me. I know for a long time it was about that, like trying to create your own opportunities and create your own things so that in between gig to gig, just in general, it's to like your own sanity. And now you have to kind of do it even more now, right? To just kind of like, okay, I'm going to work on this or reinvent myself in this way and put this out there. So I get that. Yeah, absolutely.
But the good news is that we're looking to come back 2021.
Yes.
safe, rested.
Rested, well rested, very well rested.
The vocals are going to be great.
Yes. Just in case everyone doesn't know, you are in Ain't Too Proud, right?
That's right. The Life of Times of the Temptations, baby.
Yes. And so you're playing Eddie Kendricks, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And so you kind of worked your way up in the cast there, right?
So yeah, that show I actually got cast as a standby. So I covered for the 5 Temps, something on my screen. And I got the opportunity to move up because right after the Tony Awards, Jeremy Pope, who originated the role, was moving on to TV and other projects. So literally it was unheard of. Like our director called me into a meeting, into his office after a press event. I remember I was singing at the airport at a press event, and he's like, I need you to come to my office. And I went there, and it was just me and him in a room, and he said, listen, Jeremy's leaving, and I don't want to have to hold auditions because I have you. And he literally said, it's going to be hard work, but I think you can do it. Yeah. He saw me go on a few times, and I'm so grateful because then, my life changed again, which is so great. Yeah. But he had faith in me. He has faith in me. And he's still been in touch, asking how I'm doing, calling me directly and just checking in. So it's been so great. And I'm so grateful because I fell in love with this role because there's so much of me in it. Oh, yeah. It's so cool.
Yeah, well, I did not have the chance to see. I did see the show, but I didn't see you in it. But just knowing who you are as a person and a personality, and I just imagine it being this really great fit. I've seen some of the promo stuff you've done and the TV spots that you've done. So I'm just so happy for you. You're just like,
thank you. I love the brotherhood of it too. It's much like Smokey Joe's. Like there's a brotherhood, and you bounce off of people, right? It's like an energy check, and we all are checked in from the top. So it's really cool. And then the audience checks in with us too, because that beginning song, everybody knows. And people are reliving their childhood, which is so awesome. Yeah. And then, like Dominique Morso's writing invites you to go on the journey with us. So it's really cool to have that. The audience has your back, your family and the show has your back. So it's a recipe for success by telling this actual story. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the audience just buys into it from the get-go. Like you said, from the first song, they're like, yes, and I mean, Sergio's choreography and the pace of it and everything, it just goes, and it's so just
fun.
You're on this.
Also, let's be honest, so when I played Simba, that was only act 2. Okay, Smokey Joe's was 90 minutes. Right. This show, I'm on stage the entire time. But I love it. I love it. Yeah. I'm glad the audience gives me that energy because it's definitely a lot of dancing, a lot of singing, but like how fulfilling, how thrilling.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about this yesterday. I just wanted to, not ignore kind of what's going on in our world right now, and even within the Broadway community, as you said, how it's kind of pulled us apart a little bit, right, within the Broadway community. And I just wanted to have a chance to talk to you about it, give you a chance to talk about it, without, I don't want to feel like I'm putting you on the spot, but I didn't want to not talk about it.
Well, that's just it. I think people need to be put on the spot. And I think people need to, my thing is this about it, Brian, is that there are many things that have been wrong that are going to be wrong. A, it's not everyone. B, I want to figure out how to, B, people are angry and rightfully so. Yeah. But there has to be a way to have conversation without sort of a discipline. Like how do we have safe conversations and not penalize someone for not knowing or not knowing how bad it is. It's hard to, one of our media reps said this to me best. Our producers have reached out to us and said like, we want to give you money for what charities do you want to go to? We were there for you and things like that. And it's like, that's their way of trying to help. Yeah. They are with us. And she said it best. You can't expect a 3-month-old to eat fried chicken. This is new for a lot of people. Yeah. And I want to be the one, I want to be a buffer of education. Yeah. But I think because there's so many different parts of the spectrum and there's nothing at the top of where we exist at our administration up top, discussing it and making it, fair or making it just. Of course, everyone's going to be on the wayside of not knowing how to feel or
right.
But I think I know too many good people to tarnish a race, I hope that the theater community does not go in that route. And that's why I wanted to do my own version of unity and bringing people together and saying Black Lives Matter, trans lives matter, white lives matter, brown lives matter, yellow, everybody does matter. And if Black lives matter, if all lives do matter, then to people saying Black Lives Matter shouldn't be a trigger.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've got work to do, but I have faith, I have hope. But like, what a ride to everybody to be at home watching this all unfold.
Yeah.
Watching it, what a sobering sort of thing. Especially for us artists, because I feel like we feel the most, and we expect, and we're not on stage. There's no outlet really.
Right.
So you take it hard, and you sort of see the same things keep happening, and it's just like, how does it get better? Or like, I see somebody and I see it at the top getting worse. So it's like, oh boy. And maybe I've been blind to some of it because of my upbringing in a predominantly white town where I was accepted, but then now I'm thinking, well, was I? Or was I just tolerated? I don't know, but I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I felt weird. I felt weird going on a bike ride at night.
In your town, the town you grew up in?
Yeah. Because what if somebody didn't know me?
Right.
They don't ask questions anymore. Sometimes, it's straight to whatever. Like, what if a cop didn't know me? And
right.
Yeah. I also had a peaceful protest in my town.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because I saw some of that too.
In my very, very predominantly white conservative town, we had a peaceful protest.
Yes.
And it was so successful. It was moving. I actually sang the national anthem, and I got teary-eyed because I didn't know if that song belonged to me anymore.
Yeah.
And like, what? It was crazy to say these words and then to not feel connected for some, And then I sang "Make Them Hear You." And that also was a powerful song, because to see all these sea of people, and a lot of people that I didn't even know that they were just there.
Yeah.
And the town donated things, and it was just really, really moving. And I'll tell this excerpt really quickly, that we had a heckler. We had a heckler come to it. And he had a Blue Lives Matter shirt on.
Okay.
And carried an American flag. And you watched him walk through the people, and people started head turning, and he was just there to start trouble. He had a reason to be there, but like, he was there to start trouble. And it wasn't until he started talking to the kids, that were there, that people stepped in. And as he moved through the crowd, Brian, he went over to the group of high school students, and like, all they did is turn to him, and they all, like, I was on the bleachers watching all this happen, and all you see was a sea of their signs just go up in front of this man. And all you saw was them just put up their signs. They didn't even say anything. They just put their signs up. And like, the crowd just moved him out. And it was, I could have cried watching that. Just the power of unity, and the power of the people,
right.
And all we did was put our signs up. It wasn't about a shouting match and this and that. It was just, I made an announcement just to stay focused on our plan, because there are people that are there to mix it up and to break our stride, but we need to stay strong and focus on the mission.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just like you said, we've this conversation and this has happened over and over again, and it's just finally.
But we weren't sitting home watching it.
Right. Exactly. Right.
That's the trick bag.
Yeah, that's the difference, right?
But go ahead, I cut you off.
No. I was just saying, and now we're at this point that you hope that there will finally be some kind of a change. Enough people are stopping to listen and say, and will make a change, or step out of their homes and be part of a protest. All of those things, to hopefully make a difference.
Totally. Yeah.
And just everyone paying attention, and everyone listening, and everyone saying, oh, maybe I'm not the best at this. Maybe I thought I was.
It's hard to shake it out, and hard to acknowledge like some of the microaggressions and things that like you didn't even think about.
You don't even think about.
Somebody took it. You know the expression "piece of cake." Oh, that's a piece of cake. So I found out that became so because back in the day, slave owners would make their slaves do dances and like entertain them and do cakewalks. Pretend to do like the cakewalk, and the best one got a piece of cake.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. mind blown, you know,
Right.
but you never thought about where that came from.
And we just,
now that you know, like, it's like, whoa.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but we didn't think about that stuff. But now it's hard to reconfigure your way of thinking, especially if you haven't thought about it.
Yeah.
You don't want to think about it for some, because that brings on, you know, accountability.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Not everybody's ready for that.
And like I just said, realizing that you may not be as good at it as you thought you were, and knowing that, like, oh, I may, like you said, these microaggressions or anything that come out that you don't even realize, that you're like, oh, I do have to change that behavior. I have to change that because it's not right, you know? So, and I'm glad it's happening, and it's sad that we're having these conversations so many times over and over again and so many years later, but you know, here we are, and hopefully there will be some kind of a huge change, you know.
Vote. Make sure you guys vote.
Get out and vote. Yes. So I think with that, we may want to have you sing a little ditty. How about that?
I couldn't possibly
sing.
Let's see here. What do we got?
Yeah.
So the song that I'm picking is a little mashup, but I think it's appropriate since I'm not on Broadway. This is a little salute too.
All right. I'm going to turn off my camera while you're singing so you fill up the screen.
Center stage.
Exactly.
Okay. Can you hear it okay?
Yep, I can hear you.
The costumes, the scenery, the makeup, the props, the audience that lifts you when you're down. The headache, the heartache, the backache, the flops, the sheriff that escorts you out of town. The opening when your heart beats like a drum. The closing, the customers won't come. Give my regards to Broadway. Remember me to Herald Square. Tell all the gang at 42nd Street that I will soon be there. Give my regards to old Broadway and say that I'll be there ere long. We'll be back.
Yes, Jelani, thank you so much.
See, no applause.
No applause. Soon we will be back.
Totally.
On Broadway. What else? So, all of us are binge watching everything and anything under the sun. Anything that you got going on as far as like you're watching now or you're into?
Obviously Drag Race.
Right. Yes.
I've been watching a lot of Drag Race.
I've been watching
I love
that.
Dead to Me.
So good.
Loved it. I've been watching all like the Planet Earth stuff because one of the things about this, pandemic is one of the many things is that the earth is breathing. So things are shut down. I feel like Mother Earth is getting a chance to be like, girl.
Right.
So
exactly.
I've been wanting to like check out the animals and check out, what our surroundings before like all the corporations and pollution. So I'm doing a lot of like Nat Geo stuff. Yeah,
there's just randomly this series just was released on Netflix with Zac Efron, and I don't know the other guy. It's actually
don't care.
I know, right? Is there someone else on the show? I didn't realize, but
I just saw the teaser for that. I'm gonna watch it.
But it's actually pretty interesting. Like they travel all over the world and look at alternative energy sources and all these ways countries are functioning without fossil fuel and all that. So it's really interesting. So. Definitely worth watching.
Totally.
Yes, I've been watching Drag Race and all the drama associated with that. Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite?
Who's my favorite right now in the All Stars or in All Stars?
Yeah, All Stars. I haven't watched Canada.
I mean, Shea Coulee, come on.
Yeah, she's so good, right?
She's so good.
So
that Flavor Flav got me.
Flavor Flav. It was
Flavor
really
Flav.
funny. It was really funny. It was really funny. So, yeah, I like her.
I mean, also I'm a big fan of Jujubee, of course.
Yeah, that's just like old school Jujubee. I'm like, oh, I love you. You know what I mean?
I know. Like, what's not to love?
I know. Yes. Well, cool. Well, the last thing I want to do with you, we do our like 20 questions in 2 minutes, just as a little wrap up.
Questions?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So I'll just fire as many questions at you as I can in 2 minutes. And some of them are short answers, some of them are a little bit longer, but we'll do that, and that'll wrap us up. You ready? Right. Do you need to warm up or anything?
I just sang I'm warm. It's okay.
Okay, you're good. All right, I'm gonna start it in 3, 2, 1. All right. What's your favorite restaurant in Ogunquit?
Oh, I don't. It's been a while. Okay, it's the Italian one. What's that called?
Roberto's.
It's right. Roberto's. Yeah.
Yeah, that's real good, real good. How do you come down after a show?
I go to Main Street, Bar and Grill.
You drive all the way from New York City and go to Main Street.
Every show.
Every show. Most sentimental thing in your dressing room?
Oh, I had this beaded lion that somebody gave me on tour. It's a beaded lion.
Cool. Fondest memory from Smokey Joe's Cafe?
Oh. We had a toga party on site where we were staying. It was really
I recall that toga party. Outside of my window.
Correct.
First cast album you were ever obsessed with?
Oh. Wicked.
Yeah. TV or movie that you love so much?
Wait, I gotta go back. First cast, what do you mean, in Broadway or a movie? Because the first cassette tape I ever bought was The Lion King.
Okay. Foreshadowing.
Okay.
Movie, TV show you know every word to?
The Lion King.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Also, Mrs. Doubtfire. Chocolate, vanilla, chocolate.
Yeah. Last thing Mrs. Doubtfire, you said?
Hello!
Yeah. Last thing you bought online?
A onesie.
Go to audition song?
Ooh, Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Most used app on your phone?
Oh, Yelp.
Cool. I lost my place.
What do you think I was going to say, huh?
I don't know. I gave you a little. Favorite junk food?
Everything. Brownie M&Ms right now. I'm really into.
Nice. First Broadway show you ever saw?
The Civil War.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. Wow. Is that 2 minutes?
That was 2 minutes.
I'm reclaiming my time.
Reclaiming your time. Dogs or cats?
Dogs. Sorry, Simba.
Right. Bucket list dream vacation.
Oh, I want to go to Bali.
Yeah. Celebrity crush.
Oprah Winfrey. No, wait.
And what was your worst job?
Oh, my worst job? Unemployment.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's it, Jelani Remy. Champion.
Thank you so much.
It was so good to see you.
Good to see you too. Meet me in Ogunquit.
All right. Yes. And stay safe. And we'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Take care.
All right.